All right. And now we are sharply on time. It's noon. And I already see in the monitor my next speaker. She is a person also with a lot of talent and a lot of energy. I like her very much because she is in love with Italian food. Hello, Maria. How are you?
Very, very good. Hello, everybody. Grazie, Fabio, for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. I am very, very honored and humbled to be part of this summit.
But let me give you the full and formal presentation. Maria Kathleen Tan, she's the founder and CEO of Maria Tan, and she is the business coach for misfits. She empowers women across the globe to create success tailored to their lifestyle. She's been featured in several media like the Thrive Global, HuffPost, Elephant Journal, Pick the Brain, and Addicted to Success. And her free quiz is, how much of a CEO are you? That's a pretty good one. Has been downloaded over 1,000 times, 1,000 times. So you can check out the quiz at maria-tan.com. Their speech is called Entrepreneurship in the Digital Age, I think. And then the floor is all yours. And as we like to say here, you are free.
Thank you so much. Let me just quickly share screen. Okay, let's do that. All right. Okay. I'm actually very, very excited to be presenting on this, and we're okay with. Yeah, great. All right, so there's a little delay. Thank you so much, Fabio, for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. For just to give you just a brief introduction to me again, you can connect with me here on all these social media channels. I am very active on Facebook, but my second home is Instagram at Maria_K_10. So before we begin, I know that we've had a lot of amazing, amazing guests, speakers already today. And just to check in with everybody, I'd love to know, how are you today? Is it 1, very good, 2, just woke up, 3, stayed up just for me? I'd love that. 4, need a reset, or, well, tell me in the comments. Okay, I think we have a few people going to see that. I just really want to take this time for everybody to just ground ourselves, to just center ourselves, and to just really, really connect. How are we feeling today? And this is so important because this would really allow us to really be more receptive to the information shared today, to the synergy shared today, to the energy shared today. So let me know in the comments, or let the team know in the comments how you are doing today. All right. And I want to begin with this question. What is your biggest struggle with entrepreneurship? Is it 1, you don't know where to start? Number 2, doing everything and nothing significant is done? Or number 3, you have a difficulty monetizing sustainably? So I'd love to hear, what is your biggest struggle with entrepreneurship? And as you pop in your question, pop in your reply, we have people saying 1. All right, we have a lot of people saying 1, don't know where to start. As you pop in your responses, I want you to just, maybe if you have a paper, or you just keep that at the back of your mind, because at the end of this talk, I really want to help you get more clarity, not only on where you are, but also how you can monetize sustainably, and which actions would really give you the most significant results. So just really think of what is the biggest takeaway you'd want from this very short training. This is going to be information packed, but really come with the intention of, what is the biggest struggle you have with entrepreneurship that you want to solve? And this is what you will take away after this talk. Now, just a little bit about me. Thank you, Fabio, for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. As I said, or as was said in my official bio, I am the business coach for misfits. And before I went into online coaching, I I had a consulting company in Taiwan, and I'm I did corporate consulting, market development, business development, cross cultural communications, and businesses. So this was me in Taiwan. And then in 2017, I went online. I switched from consulting with corporations and SMEs to coaching individuals. So in 2017, I went online and I started doing master classes. I started getting interviews on different channels online. And today, I am very, very honored to be part of several media platforms, podcast shows, and my latest podcast interview, this that just went live last night. So we had to change this a little bit. It's actually with the creative entrepreneur with Abel Garza, who's based in the US. So from all this, I've done speaking engagement on international speaking. I was featured in Taiwan because I was the only non-black minority that did a presentation on empowerment, self-worth, and monetization in this community of women of colors in Taiwan. And last year, I was flown to give speeches on, again, entrepreneurship, digitization, monetization, the CEO mindset, which I will cover today. And in the Philippines, this was my first talk in the Philippines with the Connected Women Mandaluyong, also on the CEO mindset. And I was actually very honored to share space with with our organizing team when we gave the Freedom Talk last year, and I talked about freedom to you. Now, here, when you think of starting a business, what is your first thought, right? So we went through a few of the struggles. You thought of your struggles in entrepreneurship, but when you think of that, right, a lot of you said, I don't know where to start. But let me ask you, when you think of starting a business, what is your first thought? How much capital do I have, or what's my vision? Because your answer to this will determine the kind of entrepreneur that you can see for yourself. And perhaps by the end of this conversation, by the end of this short training, you will see how you can shift and how you can bridge that gap to the kind of entrepreneur you want to be. So we have a few people come saying want to do this, but there's so much. All right. So I really love how people are really engaged. So thank you so much for that. Now, I want to start with these two concepts, the everybody else mindset and the CEO mindset. Now, I've been talking about the CEO mindset since the beginning of time, and I've given speeches on this. And the one thing that I want you to remember about the CEO mindset, it is all about opportunities. So it focuses a lot on opportunities that can be capitalized on and the resources needed to do so. So for the CEO mindset, for someone who has the CEO mindset, it's focused on that. What is possible for me? While everybody else mindset, people from corporate, people who may have had some concept of business, but not in that big scale of business, but rather focus on sales, would be from what resources do I control? How can I reduce risk? What limitations I have? So the CEO mindset is all about opportunities, while everybody else mindset focuses a lot on what do I have today. And this is important because your mindset, and we hear a lot about mindset. This today, if you Google mindset, you have at least 50 million results on what mindset is. But let me give you a very easy metaphor for mindset. I think everybody has a cell phone, right? We are in the generation, we are in the age where cell phones pretty much are part of our body. So everybody has a cell phone, right? So if you think of your cell phone, like I have an iPhone. So because I have an iPhone, this system, the mindset, think of the mindset as the operating system of your cell phone. Your operating system has conditions already in it, right? So if my cell phone, my iPhone, is running on an operating system that's like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Can I actually download new apps? No. I need to upgrade my operating system. I need to upgrade my phone to download new apps. But I have the ability to see it. I have an idea that there are new apps coming on. Let's say Zoom, for example. Michelle, the guest earlier, the speaker earlier talked about if you want to start podcasting, the first thing you do is download Zoom. So just the thought of Zoom, an operating system on an iOS running 5 years ago cannot download Zoom. I can assure you that. Because to download Zoom on your phone, you need a newer operating system. So think of your mindset as such. It is your operating system. It is how you are conditioned to react to stimuli. So even if you have access to new information and new thoughts, if your mindset is running on an old operating system, you will not be able to download this. So you might have an idea, wow, this is a good, Zoom, okay, Zoom, I know that, but it will not be recognized by your body. So that is mindset. This is how you are conditioned to think, to respond, to translate into actions. And our mindset is composed of course, our beliefs, our exposure, our education, our experience, our society. And this is the reason why we are all here in the summit, because we want to expand our mindset to see what's possible. Because if every day, day in and day out, you're only listening to the same thing over and over and over again, for you to access new information will be extremely hard. This is why virtual summit, attending personal development classes, they are all helpful because they show you the possibility. Now, let's go to the CEO mindset, right? And to go to that, I want you to think of the entrepreneurship. When people think of entrepreneurship, a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is about making money. But I want to share with you what I find the best definition of entrepreneurship and what is considered the best definition among experts. This is from Howard Stevenson, the godfather of entrepreneurship studies in Harvard Business School. Entrepreneurship is the pursuit of opportunity without regard to resources currently controlled. In the Chinese word, entrepreneurship is 创业. It composes of two words, 创 and 业. 创 meaning create, make, 业 meaning industry. So if you really go into the essence of entrepreneurship, it is creating a new industry or creating a new world. It is not simply making money, right? So if you come from that CEO mindset, you will now open up to a bigger view of what entrepreneurship, what is possible for you. It's more than making money. However, having said that, the biggest oversight for people, and I hope you can join me in guessing, what do you think is the biggest obstacle in being a successful entrepreneur? Is it one, is it the lack of funds? Two, is it the lack of support? Three, is it not enough ability? Four, is it wrong focus? Or you can add your own input. Tell me, what do you think for you to be a successful entrepreneur? What is the biggest obstacle here? What stops you from being the best or the most successful entrepreneur today? Okay, so tell me in the comments. We have people coming in sharing one, some people lack of funds, some people saying it's lack of support. Rosemary said lack of funds. Lorena said lack of support. So think about it. Jenny said wrong focus. Okay, just think about it. Because there are a lot of what I call onepreneurs. And the difference between onepreneurs and serious entrepreneurs is this. Onepreneurs focus too much on quick cash and quick wins. And that's okay. If you need, right now, if you are affected by the COVID and you really need money today, then that should be your focus. You cannot even think of 5 years ahead. Right now, if you are affected, if you are a single mother and you suddenly your funds are you're laid off, you're put on furlough, your first focus is to bring home the bacon. And that means quick cash fast. So that's okay. But if you're really in it for that long journey, you need to think of a direction, of a vision, of a new world. And going back to the Chinese word of entrepreneurship, which is 创业, it is creating a new world that you drive, that you are a part of. It's the same with what Michelle said earlier with podcasting. It is about creating a revolution. It's creating a movement. It is creating a different intention in the world, right? So again, if today your focus is to make money, that's okay, because that's what you need right now. But in the long run, as you build, as you think of what is it that I want from life, what would really give me freedom, time, money, location, space, what can really allow me to free myself up from all limitations, you have to think to see your business, your career, your profession with that CEO mindset. Because there are different ways to make money online. And I want to go through this very quickly. So people who are wondering, okay, I really need money right now. I really need to increase my income right now. I cannot think too much of a new world because right now I need my new normal to be stable first. Then here are the different ways to make money online sales. So you have Amazon, Etsy, Yahoo, Facebook, selling things. And we see that now. I think now in the Philippines, there's also Viber groups that allow for selling. There's a carousel. There's really a lot of ways to sell. Of course, there are also not only products, you can also sell content. So ebooks, webinar, trainings. So it's easy to monetize that way. There's online publishing. You can monetize through many ways of selling content. Then, of course, you can also do that. Content is also graphic, so stock photos. A lot of people would pay for good photos, to be honest. So this, if you like photography and you're looking for extra income, this is a good way. Service provider. So I think yesterday, JP Espinosa was talking about digital architect or Fiverr, right? So those are the things that you can do. You can do freelancing via Upwork or Fiverr. And of course, you can also make money through membership or subscription-based or content sites. One of the most famous that's really increasing is Patreon. So Patreon, think of Patreon as a platform that would sponsor, like, let's say artists, or, you have a hobby and people like you. So they just give you $5 to even $100 a month, $100 a month, just doing you. So this is a good way to make money. Okay. Again, this is for you to inject cash very fast. And of course, you have pay-per-click ads. So this is an example. One of my articles, Chasing Permission, How Addressing Self-Worth Can Change the World. This was published in Addicted to Success, I think last year. And the Addicted to Success is one of the most syndicated platforms and media in the US on business development, entrepreneurship, self-empowerment, and even they have pay-per-click. You see here, they have pay-per-click, right? In my blog, if you go to my website, I do not have this because I don't look to monetize in that way. I have a different model. So if this is something that you want and you're good at writing, you want to share with the world your thoughts, do it, and then do pay-per-click. This is a good way to make money. Or, of course, we talked about affiliate marketing, I think the last 2 days. So this is something for you to also consider. However, if you are really tired of just thinking onepreneur and want to shift from onepreneur to real entrepreneur, then the CEO mindset is for you. But the one thing you have to really remember, the CEO mindset is about sharing wealth, work, and wins. And when we say sharing wealth, work, and wins, a very easy way to think of it is this. The Fortune 500 companies, they are not only focused in making the most money in 1 year. They are focused on increasing stock prices so that they can give higher EPS, which is earnings per share. They are focused on hiring the right talents and compensating the right people at the right price. Because again, they want to grow. So the CEO mindset is really about sharing wealth, work, and wins. They are not about trying to cheapen everything. And yes, there are companies that do that, but they don't stay. The companies that thrive during a pandemic, San Miguel in the Philippines, and many more, these people are focused in helping the community, in putting money into the community today, because they know without the community, they cannot be sustainable. That even if they make money today, even if they lay off 100 million people today, that will not bring them any good karma in the future, because the people, the companies that are thriving during this pandemic are those that really funnel funds into the community to save the community. Because we know for us to thrive, we need to share the wealth around. Because when wealth is shared, wins are shared, work is shared, money is shared, opportunities are doubled and multiplied. This is the biggest concept that people mistake when they go into entrepreneurship. Now, is it possible? Like, okay, this is so great, right? You might think, okay, Maria, these are great ideas. Is it even possible to create a complete digital empire? Because the examples I gave you are more physical empires, right? Is it possible to create a digital empire? Now, close your eyes and connect within and ask yourself, is it possible for me to create a complete digital empire? I'd love to know. So drop in the comments what you think, what you feel. Think of this. Now, the next question. Do you want to build a digital empire? Ask yourself, is it possible for me? Would I want to even build a digital empire, right? Think of that. Now, the key to building a digital empire is what I call building a community or your own ecosystem. And it goes back to the best definition of entrepreneurship, which is creating a new world, right? Creating a world without regard to the limitations. And the foundations of that starts with a vision. And this is why all Fortune 500 companies has vision, mission, and philosophy. And I want to break it down for you. A very simplified form, so it allows you to start thinking about things. When we talk about vision, we just need to think of what world are you creating, or what difference are you making, or do you want to be part of? So in my case, my vision, the world I'm creating is simply a world where people can fully own their difference, can be unapologetic about their difference. Because I've been a misfit my whole life. I come from an extremely, extremely traditional, conservative family. And me being the not rule breaker, but me questioning every single thing, it's not easy for people who are so used to just kids following the things, right? And then me going abroad, I've been that misfit because I don't fit the typical Filipina, the typical Asian, the typical Chinese box. I don't fit the typical millennial box as well. I don't fit the typical coach box as well. So even in the online space, like I've been in the online space for about 3 years, and it's very normal for me, even until today, to have coaches from, I don't know, in the US or wherever, who think that I'm a VA because I'm Filipina, right? And they become then surprised to see how successful I am in my coaching practice and who my clients are. So that kind of like being a misfit, owning my difference, it's not something that's easy for people, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of limitations. If I had believed that because I'm a Filipina, the only way to make money is to be a VA, then I wouldn't be where I am, right? But that inspires me on a daily basis, because for me, I do not need to conform to what society gave me as a standard. My standard is who I am, what I believe in, what my desires are. So you have to think of your change, the change that you want to be a part of, or the change that you want to create. Because that is the most powerful thing you have. It's not your ability. It's not your certificates. Nobody, I think today, nobody will ask me, Maria, what certificates do you have? Who cares? I am good at what I do, right? Because again, I give a very clear result, which is helping people own their difference and make money from it and build an ecosystem around that. So that is what I bring to the table. So I am very clear that my vision, the world that I'm creating, is where everybody feels safe to be unapologetic in their difference, to be unapologetic telling people what they want from the world, from themselves, from everybody else. That vision is powerful. If you think of Disney, Disney has survived 100 years. Not just survive, thrive. And the only reason why Disney thrive is because they haven't lost sight of their vision. The vision of creating a place of happiness, creating a place where you can just, escape to and just be happy. And every product, every action, every service that they offer all comes back to that, creating happiness, having a space for people just to be happy, whether it's a movie, whether it's a book, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a theme park. That vision is so powerful. And even today, the most progressive companies in the world have already created a new position called Chief Vision Officer, because that person needs to align everybody to the vision that they are creating. Sometimes in business, we are so focused on the mundane and the day-to-day that we forgot why we started everything in the first place. That's why vision is your driving force. Think of it as your fuel. Now, your mission is the message you want to share with people, right? It's the change you're making and how you are impacting. In my case, my mission, my message has always been, you do not need to fit in. I can use different words to fit my branding. I can say something like, you are magical, you're a miracle, because I like to use magic and miracles in my branding. That's just me. But if I really take out all that and go back to the most simplified essence of what my message is, you are special. You do not need to fit in. You can create any kind of business that you want the way you want it. You can create any kind of success the way you want it. You want a 4-hour work week? Great. Let's create a strategy around that. You want to sell air? Great. Let's create a strategy around that. You want to be the best meditations coach in the world? Great. Let's create a strategy around that. You want to be an expert in making pies? Great. Let's create a strategy around that. So my message has always been, you do not need to fit in what's already existing, but rather be okay with your difference, be okay to be special. You are special, you are magical, you have the magic to create anything you want. You are the magic in this world. So that has always been my mission. That has always been how I impact people. And me just showing up with my difference and just being different and being okay with my difference, this has inspired so many people. It's normal for me to wake up to messages from all the people that I've met in my life, from all the people that I've met online, messaging me just to say, thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing this post. Thank you for doing this. It really touched my heart. And, I am humbled and blessed and honored to read that, because for me, they don't need to buy from me. I have clients and I will have more clients. Just the mere fact that me being me can impact people, I'm happy. I am very, very thankful that I can do what I can do today. Now, the third thing is philosophy. And this will impact every action you take. What do you stand for? In my case, my philosophy is always authenticity. I will never do anything that is out of alignment with who I am. In online, for those of you who've just started doing things online or are starting and have been following sales coaches, the one thing that I dislike about this online space is there are a lot of sales coaches or business coaches, business schools that teach you to build relationship for the sake of a sale. And for me, that is very manipulative. I hate it when people send me a DM just knowing, just they don't even know me and start selling to me. For me, sales is a conversation. It's an invitation. I don't mind selling to people because if I know that what I am offering can help the person, why should I feel ashamed? Right? So for me, I only do things in alignment with me. I don't care if the best expert in the world tell me that this is the best way to go. I don't care because for me, if that does not sit well with authenticity, with who I am, I will not take it. And I have hired so many experts all from all over the world in building my business. And I can assure you, where they are, where are they now? Right? All the expert advices that they've been spilling to me, it didn't really help. It didn't really work. All right. So I think now it's the Q&A time. Is it Fabio that's coming in?
Yes, he is. Here I am. We had many people reacting to your speech. So xie. It was very interesting and very helpful. So take a little break. Unfortunately, we have a 20 seconds delay. So you had so much energy that some questions and answers were arriving a little later comparing to the slide. But I think you had a very strong way of connecting to people. And I think the first question I want to ask, because I was noting the different kind of answers, is many people are saying they're lacking focus. And I would like to lacking on focusing. They have a hard time focusing on their goals. And I would like to reconnect to what Dennis Waitley was saying before, that the big achievers have this laser beam concentration on their goals. So what is your suggestion to those who have a problem in focusing on achieving their goals or finding their niche? What, in your experience?
So the only reason why we will lack focus is because we want to prove ourselves. So for example, someone tells you, oh, you cannot do that. And then you want to prove yourself, prove your worth. You want to prove to other person that you can. So you can have focus when you step back and you really ask yourself, what do you want? Not your mother, not your spouse, not society. What do you want? And the moment you allow yourself that honesty, and I know it seems so simple, but this is the hardest thing to do, to allow yourself that honesty that what I want is, complete the sentence. What I want is just for people to see me as me. What I want is for people to value my time. What I want is for people to hear me speak. Those very simple points, once you allow yourself to just stay there without giving any kind of definition or justification, you will have the focus. What happens is people say, I really want to be paid to be me, but there's a lot of but now that follows, right? But I can't, or but it's not profitable, but I can't. There's a lot of but that follows. If you just stay with that, I want to be paid to be me, and you just stay with that, be comfortable in that. Stop saying all the buts. Just say that. That would now, and it's scary. It can be very, very scary. You just stay on that every day until you feel comfortable. The moment you feel comfortable, the road is now clear because all the things, all the but disappears, right? Because you no longer listen to it. You no longer think about the but. You just focus on, I want. And when you focus on that, that is the most powerful thing that you can ever think of.
So sometimes you can be your worst enemy by distracting yourself all the but, because you create the but in your mind. We have a question from a Chinese person, and maybe you can help me out with his or her name. But the question is, how do you monetize the marketplace if you are the administrator of the business community?
So, okay, since you are the administrator of the community, and if you want to monetize it, you can ask people to pay. So for me, you can say something like, for vendors, I would appreciate a $1 donation every month. so that I can help upkeep this community because it's taking my time. I think something like $1 a month for them to sell, it's easy. Just talk about administration costs.
Another concern that came from many of our viewers was the lack of funds. And so if you have to prioritize your investment and you have to start and you have a lack of funds, what do you do first? Where do your money go first?
So so is there a lack of funds or no funds? This is two things.
I'd say lack of funds in many cases. In many cases, they were talking about lack of funds. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of money.
Okay. So if there is a lack of funds, you need to focus on the one thing that brings you the highest ROI, meaning the return on your investment of time, energy, and efforts. A lot of people, especially when they want to get started, they get so blinded by all these flashy things. They think a beautiful website is going to bring them sales. It's not. A beautiful picture is not going to give you sales. It's not. So if you want to get started, just focus on the one thing first that would bring you money. When you are now feeling stable and comfortable with that money, then you can now talk about scaling. You can talk about having a beautiful website, having a beautiful logo, because I will tell you, nobody will buy from you just because of your logo.
I understand. There's a question from Celine. As a beginner to start a digital business, how to choose between what we like to do and there are skills, I think, that we both don't like to do. I have problems with the questions, but I think it's always the same problem between what's your passions, what are your skills, where you start from, how do you put all these things together in the very beginning?
I don't really focus on skills because I think skills can be taught. So I would go back to what drives you. Do you want to tell people that they are special? Do you want to tell people, or do you just want to make money? If you want to just make money, then focus on what can bring you the most money. If you want to share a passion or a project, let's say you want to share your art and you want to monetize that, then focus on sharing your art and then thinking of how, again, we go back to how can I easily monetize this today so that tomorrow I can use these funds to scale bigger.
One more question, they're coming. The question of love, it is proper to loan, I guess it's advisable to loan. Do you suggest to get a loan from a bank just to start a business? Or you have to do it with your own money?
For me, if you have a vision, go ahead, because money can give you space. Money can allow you the freedom to not rush. The problem with having your own money, it's so limited that sometimes you rush for success, and in doing so, you take actions that you do not need to take today. So but I want to be very, very careful because I know this is streamed across Southeast Asia. In the US, it's very easy to take out funds, and they have 18 months, at least 18 months of 0% interest. So before you take out a loan in Southeast Asia, be very, very smart and savvy at reading the language of what your loan involves. How much interest are you paying? So for me, you can take out loan. That's not a problem. The question is, do not be very, very clear upfront. How much interest are you going to pay from that loan? What are the penalties involved? Because you do not want to take on more costs just to have more seed money when you don't even know what you want to do in your life and in your business.
Very good. We have a more technical question. What's your vision on e-commerce platforms in the Philippines?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I'm honestly, when I started, most of my clients are in the US, right? US, Europe. And since I came back last year, I'm really impressed by how the whole infrastructure is growing. Like Union Bank is one of the leading expert in infrastructure. BDO is putting in money here. Like everybody's really investing a lot of money to grow infrastructure. So I will tell you, this is just going to grow and grow and grow at an amazing speed that we can be at par with the US very soon.
No, that's nice to hear. And a lot of reactions came when you were talking about the CEO mindset. Mindset is a big part of your work, of your experience. So many of the questions, there are several, are revolving around how can I develop quickly a CEO mindset? Because I guess many
Oh,
people are, working 9 to 5. They're used to be in a team, and it's difficult for them to step up on the CEO level.
I have created a gift for everybody, a step-by-step guide on integrating that. How can I share my,
Your
uh,
screen,
yes.
like this, I suppose. Maybe, guys, you can help us out from. No, this is not it. Help me out here, guys,
Okay, but
because
I created this guide for this group for the Freedom Global Summit, and it's very easy. You just go to maria-tan.com/FSG. Very easy. Okay. Because I want to help you. It's a step-by-step guide. We really like broken it down for you. So it's easy for you to really follow. Okay. I'm a bullet point person. I don't want you to read too much. Yeah, here. I think it's already there's already the ticker here.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Just
are
go ahead,
helping.
download this. This is really a step-by-step guide on integrating that CEO mindset in your life, in your business today. And I have spoken about this in many of my podcasts. So do follow me on Instagram or on Facebook or even on my website where you can really see all my latest articles, the latest features that I've had in different media from all over the world speaking on this. And I make it very simple for you.
There is an expression which resonated with many of our viewers. It's the digital empire. I think you trigger visions of world digital domination in many people. And the question is always the same. How do I quickly develop a digital empire? Of course, it's a very complicated process. But if you can give us a tip on some secrets on how to develop it quickly.
So again, I would go back to the vision. You start with your vision. You have to be very clear on what message or what world you're creating, because that would set you apart from everybody else. Okay, you don't want to be a copy of someone. You just become yourself. Then your mission, your message, that should be trickled in everything you do. So even it doesn't matter what you sell. I think people get confused about sales and business. So let's say me, every product, every service that I roll out all comes back to that vision and that message. And most importantly, philosophy. Only do the things that really align with you. For me, I'm a person that really thrives with busy things. So I like doing many things. But I have clients who are introverts. They hate doing so many things, okay? They get confused. They don't like to be on 5 different platforms. They just like to be on Instagram. So then master that. Just be on Instagram. Choose one thing that really resonates with you. Do something that is aligned with your energy, with who you are, because that is what will grow your empire. Empires are powerful. It's not the size that matters. It's the quality of the empire.
All right. The time is about to end, but I would like just to expand very briefly on one of your concepts. I truly enjoyed when you were saying that sales is a conversation, sales is an invitation. Many of our speakers have been talking about sales, and I'm a big fan of interacting with your audience, your communities, your prospective clients. So again, can you elaborate a little bit about that? Because maybe people think that sales is just a cold call and just to disturb others. How to invite, how to reel them in, how to lure them.
So I want you to use this metaphor. Don't think of sales as sales, okay? Think of sales as inviting people into your house, right? If you like someone, you want to share your food, right? You want to share your products. So just think of you hosting a party, right? So when you sell anything, your food, your whatever, your service, think of it as just you hosting a party. And everything you do, okay, you're sharing with people, hey, I have a party tomorrow. Don't you want to come? So just come from that, right? Change the party to product. Hey, I'm selling beef. Do you want to buy from me? Don't you want to buy from me? I thought of you. Because that passion and that sincerity, because do you want if you're buying something for your friends, you don't want cheap things. You don't want bad things. Unless you are selling bad things, you should be proud that you are selling things because it means that you have something to share with other people. And of course, cost needs to be shared. That it's normal, right? If I go to your house for as a guest, I would bring a bottle of wine. So instead of me bringing a bottle of wine, I'll bring cash because I'm paying now for your service. So think of sales as you just hosting a big party and inviting everybody to come into your world and sharing in your joy.
Thank you very much, Maria. It's 12:45. It's the end of our time. Unfortunately, I have to say goodbye, but thank you for the insights that you gave us, the energy and the enthusiasm. And we will see you soon again. Thank you for being part of Freedom Summit Global.
Thank you so much, Fabio.